Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com here with your Tuesday market webcast. All right, so look, we talked a lot yesterday about the bears being in control because they had done ABC and they could retain control if they did DEF. They didn't do any of that. None of it. They very quietly yesterday and today have had a very, very bad 24 hours since we last spoke. The trouble started down at 3,900, an area that they've been unable to figure out. So they make this little low down here, 38.97 quarter, and they spend the vast majority of the day, first of all, getting their face ripped off the open. Then they come back, they bring it in, and they hold it right in that 50 area where they had to, and had a decent finish, and they've continued that overnight where, we're talking, here's an hourly chart, we're talking yesterday about resistance at the daily mid-band, which is great because, if you're a bear, if you're short, you want, the overall sell rallies. Well, that's at risk now. You come down, you hold 3,900, you have a bad day, you try to get it back, hourly mid holds like a champ there right around noontime. You finish strong and they haven't given it back. So here's your daily mid-band. You got higher highs. Of course, everything can change on a dime. You've got all kinds of news and everything else. The Fed is tomorrow, 2 o'clock, and the press conference and all of this. It's all out there in the wind. I think what we'll figure out later is whether this kind of price action is pricing in a pause or whether it's pricing in 25 basis point raise. They're not going to cut. I mean, those rumors are going around. Maybe they would. Look, I'm wrong every day, so I could be wrong about that. But we're sitting around 40.15 now. Moving on to the bulls. Every time we get up here and start printing stuff with fours on it, the bulls find a way to trip over a blade of grass and do a solid face plant and bring price back in. So the pressure's really on them as we head into the day. The key for me is, can the pullbacks continue to hold the hourly mid-band? And if they can, then they're going to be dip buys. If the bears can convert that hourly mid-band, which is sitting around 91.5, that's where it held yesterday, and it hasn't been back to visit. I would suspect at some point today, either as a function of time or as a function of price, it's going to get a look. If it's able to do that, we'll see what it's, what it's capable of. Now, what is interesting is that's a continuation chart, daily mid-band there at 39.75. Remember, we rolled last week, so you got some interesting things going on. The front month daily mid-band is 4,000. I definitely like that getting a look today. Whether that turns into a dip buy remains to be seen, and volume weighted average price is sitting right there at 4,000 as well. It really does need a solid look at 4,000 in the light of day. And what I would say to the bulls is, you better defend it, because if you let it go, if you lose it, it's going to open up a move back to 39, call it 39.70, 70. So yeah, really 39.70 to 39.50 potentially gets a look. You start going back and looking at the 9-day. You start looking at daily pivot down there. So a test of 4,000 would be a pretty important moment today. The other levels we've already talked about. Proprietary moving average is at 4,009. 5-minute mid, like 40.15. It's been a 38 handle Globex range, which is pretty sedate compared to the 80 handle Globex range from yesterday. Overnight high is at 40.1975. When we start getting into 40.20, 40.25, 40.30, those have been areas where the bulls have struggled in the past. And what the bulls have been unable to do is, when it pulls back from those areas, hold something big like a 4,000 to stop the bleeding. So Again, we have today, we have tomorrow morning, and then we'll really get a big unknown into the known column. And at that point, I think the chances of there being more directional pricing where we're looking at something and going, okay, here's the next leg of the tape, is much more likely at that point, at least until we get into earnings. All right, that's all I got. Everybody have a fantastic day. Be safe, be healthy, take care. Trade them well. Come check out the room. Come trade this stuff. Come get long 50 in the morning and hang out. I mean, that was most of our day yesterday. All right, have a good one. Talk to everybody tomorrow.